Hey, we got Raymond Lyons here for Wizards Outlook. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Washington. We told you guys what this week would look like for them. Kind of murders row in terms of the caliber of opponent. Started on the road tonight in Cleveland. Going into this game, the Cavs were 18-3, a top decent conference. They sent a nice reminder to Washington as to why they hold the place that they do. 7 Cavs in double figures in this 118-87 win over the Wizards. Ray, we saw the Cavs get a little bit from so many different contributors in this one. And I'll let you go in terms of go down the list of things you can't or shouldn't and then can't afford to do against quality opponents.
I mean, the Wizards' highest scoring quarter was 25 points. The Cavs' lowest scoring quarter was 25 points. That pretty much tells the tale. The first thing you cannot do against high quality opponents is turn the ball over. And the Wizards did that a lot tonight. 20 turnovers. You'd be hard pressed to win a basketball game, turn the ball over 20 times. On top of shooting sub 40% from the field and 15% from three. That's just offensive malpractice. It's no other way to put that, man. They were just all around bad on that side of the ball. They actually, given the problems they've had with Cleveland's front line, they won the rebounding battle. 52-45, 13 offensive boards. But yeah, man, that's probably the only place they played well tonight was on the glass. Cleveland, you pointed out their contributions across the board. It's not like if it's a game where Donovan Mitchell just goes crazy, it kind of like, all right, he tends to do that from time to time. It is what it is. But I mean, he had a pretty subdued game, and they just couldn't stop anybody. So that's just unacceptable, man. Nobody had a negative plus minus on Cleveland. Not one player on the entire team. So yeah, that's why you get a 31 point loss. Adversely, the Wizards, only one person had a positive plus minus, and that was Corey Kispert, who only played 9 minutes. So yeah, it was just total domination from the Cavs. We talked about the shooting percentages. Shot selection from the Wizards continues to be an issue. Defensively, they were just non-existent tonight. It's just a comedy of errors, man. They gotta do something, man. They just don't look like a professional team right now, and the losing streak is up to 15.
Yeah, that's the part that has to be taken a toll, I'm sure, for fans, which not watching objectively. 15 in a row is that's tough. What was it that they got to last year? There was a stretch last year when it got kind of bad, right? It doesn't. I think this exceeds that, does it
not? I can't remember, but yeah, it was pretty bad because they were approaching some type of historic futility because they were coming up on a Pistons game, and that Kyle Kuzma tweet resurfaced. But whatever record they were going for, that game they didn't reach it because they won before that. But I can't remember what the losing streak was. It was nasty though, for sure.
Man, it's 15 right now though. We're 15 consecutive, and keep in mind again, I don't mean to keep bringing this up. Just this is what we'll be seeing this week. Dallas, Denver, Memphis. And then there's a brief reprieve for that next week. It's a brief reprieve. Man, like that's tough, man. That's tough. The rest of this week is horrible. There's all teams trying, fighting. You got some teams like Denver, they're trying to fight to move up in the West. They got
Mhm.
to worry about. Dallas the same, trying to hold their spot because there's some folks underneath Dallas that would like to jump them. And, Memphis just getting job back. Same thing. That's gonna be tough, man. Again, the one thing we'll give credit where it's due. Pounding the glass tonight. That box was checked. Kudos to them for that. But man, you can't win a game shooting 15% from three. It's just things that can't happen. And out of 20 turnovers, I think they gave up 25 points off the 20 turnovers, directly correlating your demise, turning the ball over. And those are just the live ball turnovers. This is not, some of those missed shots that sometimes turn into turnovers or what have you. I guess if I had a, bright spot from the night, shout out to Bub. Obviously, too many turnovers tonight, but 7 boards goes a long way. You got a guard hitting the glass in that fashion. So love to see that. Bilal had a very bad shooting tonight. He wasn't alone. The team did not shoot the ball well this evening at all. But yeah, like you said, man, it's easier to digest to be like, all right, Donovan went for 45, 46, 48.
Right.
Or Donovan and Evan went nuts. Or I think, was it earlier this season when Jared Allen went crazy? He didn't even have a crazy Jared Allen game. To your point about the rebounds, Jared Allen had 3 rebounds.
Like, that's a godsend. If before the game you get a future look at the box score and it says Jared Allen 3 rebounds, you're like, good. But you lose the game by 30.
And he had his own stuff to deal with because JV's a big dude, and it's a lot to deal with. Nothing athleticism is fun until the wall moves. So he had to deal with that. But kudos to the rest of his team. 7 players in double figures is nuts. You had 3 off double figures off the bench. They did what they did tonight. There's a reason that they're atop the Eastern standings. I'll leave that there. Player of the game, who you have tonight? Since so many people contributed.
I guess I'll go Evan Mobley. Solid double-double. He just they wrecked the game defensively with his versatility.
Big plus 23 for him. And yeah, 6 to 12 from the floor. I have no arguments there at all. X factor for you?
Now this gets tricky.
Yes.
Oh man.
All right, if you deliberate, I'll jump out there. Yeah. I'm gonna go Sam Merrill. The 14 points obviously is great. I know Georges Niang had 14, but of the two of them, I would expect Georges Niang to have 14 more so than I would Sam Merrill to have 14. Now, I'm not gonna say Merrill. Georges Niang having 14-20 off the bench doesn't shock my system at all. Sam Merrill going 5 of 10 from the floor and 4 of 9 from deep, literally to me defines X factor. And he has 6 assists. Couple steals, no turnovers. You came in, expect you to shoot the rock, and you had 6 helpers. That's who X Factor is for me. Who you got?
Yeah, I mean, you summed that up perfectly. And that's a good point about Georges Niang. Like that's what he's expected to bring to the table at this point. The Merrill contribution, that's just icing on the cake.
Again, really good win. It's a clean win for Cleveland. Again, I'm still wrapping my head around. Lost to Cleveland and nobody had 20 points. It was that balanced. Like it was literally that balanced. And Donovan Mitchell did not shoot the ball well. He shot well from 3, but did not shoot the ball well. Again, up next for Washington, got Dallas on Thursday. Joker and company on Saturday. Memphis on Sunday. So we're going to see you guys several more times this week. I appreciate y'all as always. We'll see y'all soon.